camera up in there.
Hey, what are we doing, guys? Making a video quick. What are you doing, Wyatt?
Spying.
Look here and tell me.
Spying. Don't know what it is.
It's just a penetrant, okay? Blake, what are we doing?
I just need to get
Taking
up there.
out all the bolts of the floor. Take them all out.
I need to get up there.
All right, we're getting ready. It's a test fit.
Here. You can go down on me.
I want to make sure that these wheels land center in these wheel wells. So we got the bed in here. This is a short bed. It's in decent shape. The sides are straight. But Blake and Wyatt are taking out the bolts so we can pop out the fender wells.
I can't.
But we're planning to accept the notch through the brake floor to cut across that cross member and cut across this one to open that up so the notch fits in it.
Yeah, you can.
We're gonna make a new bed floor anyway. All right.
This one's up there.
We're not getting those, honey. Right here. This one, this one, this one, this one, that one.
Oh.
So that's the plan. Stan. Hey, what's up? How's everyone doing? Got a little bit of an update on the truck. Didn't get a ton of work done today. Today is Saturday, January 28th. A lot of just thinking at this point and kind of brainstorming of, what to do, how to do it, most efficient way of doing it, that type of stuff. But Blake and I this morning, well, Wyatt was helping this morning as well. Luke was running around too, but we got the bed in the garage. We stood it up on end. We knocked out the rusty ass bolts that held the fenders in, and got a hole cut in the floor where the notch will go up through. Ran into some issues when we tried lowering the bed onto the chassis with the transport wheels. The wheels will fit. The tires that are currently on the transport wheels, the 22-inch, they're 22 by 9s. The tires that are on them are a couple sizes taller that I'm actually going to run. So I ran into some clearance issues and that type of stuff. So as you can see, we threw the old 15s on right now. And these tires, just so you guys know, they're 235, 75, 15s. On standard 6-lug rally wheels. They're 15 by 8s. And they tuck up under nice. I still had to do some trimming on once the wheel covers or the fender, I guess they'd be the fenders, or the tubs. What do you call them? Once they were removed and unbolted, I still needed to trim the inner fender wall inside the bed to clear them. So let's get the camera turned around. I'll show you guys what's up. The reason I wanted to get the bed on at this point, and just to kind of reiterate, things are not tightened down yet and permanently in place in regard to the cross member and the trailing arm length. So what I was looking to do by putting the bed on was to see when it was lowered where the wheel and tire fell in relation to the fender well. I wanted it to be relatively centered. So I'll turn around the camera, and you zoom out a little bit. But I wanted to make sure, where's that? I wanted to make sure we were in the center there, and we might be slightly to the front, but it is aired out. So once it's at ride height and up a little bit, I think it will be all but centered. So there we go. This is the first time putting the bed on the truck. And I am really pleased with it. I have not done anything to the front end yet, or anything additional. Currently it is on drop spindles. It's on CPP drop spindles, which are 2 or 2.5 inches, and bags. It is not cupped. The cross member is not pancaked, nothing like that. So what I did to kind of get the truck to close to level as possible, I pulled the valve stems out of the truck and left the air out of the tires just so it would sit a couple inches lower. And it came out to about, I think, roughly 2 inches lower in the front, which if I go with 2-inch either control arms from chopping block or Porterbuilt, that's where it would be. I still would need another inch to inch and a half, well, probably 1 to 2 inches on top of that. And the idea, as you guys know, is to section a stock cross member. So what I'm thinking right now for the front is I'm thinking I'd like to go with some chopping block control arms up front. I'd like to get them narrowed 1 inch as well as moved forward 1 inch. So when it is aired out, you guys can see it right here. Like, this is the center of this wheel well is probably right here. This is back once you lower it. So by going with aftermarket control arms, it'll move it front and it'll move it in and give you a narrow track width to fit a larger wheel. All right. So that'll give me 2 inches additional drop. And then on top of that, what I'm looking at is going with the section cross member, which they say 1.5 inches, so you can get out 1.5 inches out of that. So from that point right there, I can go another 3 inches lower, which I should be tucking that 15-inch rim. And it should put the frame pretty darn close to level. And if it's not, I can always put a bump stop in on the back so when it is aired out that it sits level. So this is what we're looking at. I'll swing around here and show you guys the bed. Okay. This is what I was talking about. I had to cut out, in addition, I had to cut this radius out, and I used a plasma cutter. Still need to trim a little bit more down there, but the stock, the fenders in here, you know, they'll come up to here, and that white line represents them roughly. So either I'll weld them in or re-bolt them in, but it'll hide that cut, you know. So the bed itself is not in perfect condition, but I'm gonna run a raised bed floor, at least, well, I'm gonna run a raised bed floor, but I would like to keep this bottom section and build some type of box to use as storage underneath where I can flip up that section, and, you know, keep tools in it, keep whatever. An issue with that is, and it might be a little difficult to see, is your rear end. Can you see it there? The angle here is going to take me right into that. So I got to come up with a solution for that. Whether it's notching this, I am going to run a 2-piece drive shaft, I decided. So that will help with that a little bit. All right, and then back here, I'm also gonna raise, this will stay, I think. I'm gonna cut all this out and put new sheet metal in so it's nice and clean. But ideally, I'd like to be able to, the tank will be mounted under this. You'll have your filler. I've opted for a center fill. So I'll have the filler here, and then my idea is to run the air tank across the back here, and a compressor here, and a compressor here, and then have up here my raised bed floor. And essentially, when I open the tailgate, this will be a compartment housing all of that. So this will either come up and over, I haven't decided yet. I mean, we got to cross that bridge when we get to it. But this will be more or less like a trunk space is what I'm thinking, and give us a clean area for our compressor and our tank, and it's not getting, you know, full of road debris and that type of thing. So this is where we're at. Things are going well. I did order some 3-inch steel blocks. As you can see, they're this bluish purple color. They need to be cleaned up. I'm gonna take them down to bare metal, and I'm actually going to, for safety's sake, I don't know if I'll weld them completely, but I will stitch weld them to this, okay? What I'm thinking for shock mounts is another thing I need to come up with, but the shocks, I don't have one to show you right now, but the shocks, I'd like to come off of the back of here with a mount for the lower part, and then I would like to come off either straight off of here or weld some type of bracket on here and have the shock run right here. All right. So the next step is honestly probably pull the bed, forget about it for a while, since I know that the trailing arms are the length I need at this point. Everything looks good there. Pull the bed back off, get the rear end centered, get the bag mounts, the axle mounts for the bags up under here, weld it on, pull that rear end out. Get them welded on, get everything cleaned up, and then pull that trailing arm cross member out, pull the trailing arms. Well, the trailing arms got to stay because I still got to do the shock mount, so there's welding to do, but I can at least get the trailing arm cross member out, painted, bolted in one last time, tightened down and ready to rock, and then probably shock mounts. So bag mounts, shock mounts. I don't know if that'll be 2 separate videos next, depending on how long it takes, but those, in my opinion, I think that's what I need to do next. Get that done and get that locked in. Once the parts for my Watts link come, that's another thing I need to do. I'm hoping everything fits. So the Watts link, there'll be a bracket that bridges this rear end, kind of in a U shape. It'll have a center pivot point here with an arm down here and an arm up here with heims on the end to adjust it. And what that'll do is give me the ability to adjust the rear end left to right. So, I'll give you one last look here. Trucks look, and I know there's long bed guys, but these trucks look so much better as a short bed. I mean, it is so... My wife came out and she made the comment that it just looks beefier, you know? It looks sportier, it looks beefier. Really happy that we went this route. So there she is, guys. Thanks for checking us out. And, you know, tune in if you want to see more. I'm going to keep uploading these videos as we go. Well, the way I've been doing it is kind of making a clip or making a video before I get started for the day with the plan, and then at the end of the day going over it and showing you guys what got done, as opposed to doing time lapses and showing you how to do everything or what I did and me just working it. I think it makes for a long video when I can just cut to the chase and kind of streamline it. So the bed was in a primer, and I actually, it's a used bed. I used this Bear Premium black satin, and I mean, I didn't prep the bed or anything. I just shot it, and it's flashing off now and looks good. And it's only, I don't know if you can see that or not. It's only the top right there. It's only 46 degrees in here right now. I shot that maybe a half an hour ago, and I mean, I'm kind of impressed by it. It lays a nice dark black satin paint, so I want this truck to be all one color when I'm done, so I might, sounds crazy, but rattle can it. Anyway, that's a truck. I keep rambling. Thanks for checking it out. Bye.